firearm industry has been maligned. All right, there's been this organized attempt to turn this into a gun-averse society, and they're constantly under attack from all different angles. You know, it's a legal product. It's part of American history, firearm. We all know what its role was just in the establishment of this country. I mean, how could the Revolutionary War have been fought if the people at the time didn't have firearms? So you move down through history, the Civil War to free the slaves was fought with firearms. And then you move into more modern times. You know, for me being a law enforcement executive in an urban area, you know, I'm looking at the crime rates, and I'm looking at people who are just ravaged by an inability to fend off predators, and the role that self-defense plays in the firearms industry, and that self-defense plays in the United States Constitution, that people be able to defend themselves. The courts have already ruled that the inherent right of self-defense, let me repeat that, the inherent right of self-defense is contained in the Second Amendment. That's a court ruling. We're a nation of laws. So if you go by the rule of law, that's already been settled. So we have to continue, though, from what I've seen, this backlash by this anti-gun movement. We have to continue to be involved, to watch legislatures, all right, not just in Washington, D.C., because you can see some of that's been circumvented by some local legislatures. To keep an eye on it, to fight back, to push back, to stay organized. The anti-gun movement is well organized and they're well funded. I see that we're well organized too. I'd like to see this side become a little more vocal, though. It's a silent majority.
Michael Bloomberg, what's your opinion of the former New York City mayor?
Michael Bloomberg, music to my ears, only because he tried to take me out in my last election this past September. The sheriff of Milwaukee County, he parachuted into town with his big wallet and put an inordinate amount of money in TV ads against me in the final weeks of the campaign. There was a total, approximately, last figure I heard, about $750,000 in attack ads used against me. This was for a local sheriff's race. All right? I wasn't running for Congress, wasn't running for the Senate, wasn't running for governor. This is a local sheriff's race, but they understand that the message that I bring in protecting freedom, protecting Second Amendment, protecting shooting sports is a powerful one because it resonates all across the spectrum. All right, it transcends race, it transcends gender, it transcends class, it transcends age demographics. Okay, and that's why they saw me as an enticing target. But what he miscalculated was that my message does resonate across the spectrum in Milwaukee County. He found out the hard way. You know, he has pledged $50 million of his own money in this anti-gun movement and to run against people running for office who are pro-gun. And he hasn't had a signature win yet. And I don't think he will, but he saw me as easy pickings. He said, I can knock this sheriff off. This will be, and then I can parade him around because he has a platform and he's created a profile for himself. I can put his head on a stick and say, see what's going to happen to you if you stay on this pro-gun movement. But it didn't work because the history of the firearm in the United States, like I said, goes back to the beginning of this country. People hold it near and dear to their hearts, and you'd be surprised the people who do look at firearms possession, firearms ownership, the Second Amendment. They come from different political sources. There are people whose only real conservative, if you will, view is that as it relates to the Second Amendment. It might not be any other way in conservative, but they look at that and go, that's a bridge too far. I got to stay on this side of that argument, and that's the pro-gun movement.
The safety and education aspects of what the firearm industry does, how important is that?
Huge. And I think organizations like the National Shooting Sports Foundation plays an integral role in that, starting off kids from a young age on firearm safety. Okay, I mean, that's first and foremost. And I would like to see that used as the model, the Shooting Sports Foundation, getting people involved, being around firearms, being comfortable around firearms, being safe with firearms. I'd like to see that be used as the foundation to change this dynamic from a gun-averse culture to where we're comfortable and that the firearm is restored in its rightful place in American society.
Do you have anything to say to anyone that may have misconceptions about SHOT Show and the firearms industry?
Well, you got to come see. Like I said, it's my first time. Been to other gun shows, and it's the same thing. It's people, all walks of life, everyday people, and that's what these things are about, really. All right, it's about the American people and exercising their Second Amendment right in a number of ways. All right, one is we know is government tyranny, the other is self-defense, but then there's the shooting sports as well. So this is the grassroots, and so if we don't support events like this, then it makes it tougher down the road with the anti-gun movement to try to use propaganda and to create a false narrative about firearms, the role that it plays in the society, and the need to protect that Second Amendment freedom.
Will we see you again at another show, or?
Count on it.